What is up, everyone? It's been a while since I've done a podcast. Been having some issues lately. Just been kind of a rough time. But I'm back. Ready to bring up some more entertainment for y'all. Talk some more about what's going on in the world. First off, I want to address what's going on in the wrestling world. The last 48 hours has been pretty rough for wrestling fans. Lost the living legend in Terry Funk, one of the pioneers in what quote unquote hardcore wrestling. I didn't see a lot of Terry Funk growing up, mainly just because he was a little. Sorry, I had to adjust my mic a little bit. He was a little before my time. He was already starting to get towards the end of his career when I was born and got into wrestling. I was able to see a little bit of his ECW run. I was able to see some of his WCW and the ever so awesome character of Chainsaw Charlie back in the Attitude Era in WWF. It wasn't until I was older that, with the invention of the internet and YouTube and all that stuff, that I was able to go back and watch some of Terry Funk's Japan stuff and some of his earlier NWA stuff. And Terry Funk, in my opinion, is an extremely underrated talent. He helped pioneer a style of wrestling that, let's be honest, was very entertaining to watch. It wasn't your, to quote JR, catch us catch cam wrestling, and it wasn't like your Bret Harts and all that, so it wasn't like technically sound. But Terry Funk was such an entertainer. I feel like he was one of the first pioneers of sports entertainment, because while he wasn't the best technical guy, he didn't have the crispest moves, or he wasn't in the best shape, he was always able to entertain. Always able to entertain the masses. I'm sad to see that he has passed away. My thoughts and prayers go to his family and friends. But one thing that happened yesterday, it was the first time ever in my life, and I'm 35 years old. It's the first time ever that a celebrity / entertainer's death truly affected me. Bray Wyatt passed away yesterday, which I'm sure everybody knows. It's all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and pretty much any site that's going around. Everyone's talking about Bray Wyatt passing away. To a lot of people, it's just an athlete. It's just a wrestler. You know, you don't really... A lot of people sit there and say that, you know, if you don't really know the person, then you don't really... You shouldn't really get affected by a stranger dying. It's sad for his family. It's sad for his friends. It's sad for his children. They're not going to have their dad anymore. It's sad for JoJo, who's not going to have her partner anymore. It selfishly is sad for us wrestling fans. Anybody that knows me knows that I am and have been a massive Bray Wyatt fan since the beginning. The Wyatt family is my favorite faction of all time, as you heard on the podcast I did with Dwayne, where we draft our lists. I took the Wyatts number one. Bray Wyatt brought something different to wrestling. He made his debut at a time where I was in a very, very dark place. I had lost my mom. She had passed away earlier that year. And I was in a depression and dark funk that I had never seen before. And still haven't seen to this day, thank God. There's a lot of times that I don't really remember what happened. But when I seen Bray and the Wyatt family, it gave me something to look forward to in a very dark, dark time. I know it sounds stupid to some people, but life is life. And just like some people get inspiration from books and music, and there's certain movies that help people come out of a depression, this man helped pull me out of a depression without even knowing it, without ever meeting me or knowing my existence. He created a character that I was able to grasp on as someone that I seen myself in. Somebody that wasn't necessarily your quintessential norm. Somebody that thought differently than everyone else. That walked differently, that talked differently, that seen the world from a different aspect of the quote-unquote norm. And was able to be like, you know what, screw what you think. And forget about what your norm is. This is me. This is how I am. This is how I live my life. Like, he came up with that character. And he came up with that character in the one thing that I have loved my entire life. My taste in music has changed. My taste in movies have changed. My taste in favorite sports have changed over my life. When I was a kid, I was all about baseball. Now, I like football. 15, 20 years ago, I'd have never been a hockey guy. Now, I catch every Blues game that I can. In high school, I was all about the NBA. Now, you won't catch me watching a game. Like, it's those things that help shape who we are. But the one thing that has never changed and never wavered was my love for professional wrestling. And here comes a guy out of nowhere, creates this amazing character that he got inspiration from different people and different characters and put his own spin on it. And a guy like me that's sitting there on the brink of, let's be honest, suicide because of what had happened and what he was going through, I was able to sink my teeth into something, and like it ignited, like, okay, like I got something to look forward to every Monday night. Like, I know it's dumb to a lot of people, but to see what stories they were going to tell or what matches he was going to have and where they were going to take this character, this individual that did not fit the norm, just like I didn't. So Bray Wyatt was more than a wrestler to me. Bray Wyatt was, a lot of times, he carried a lantern to the ring. And a lot of times, and I wrote this on my Facebook page, that lantern was the only light that I was able to see a lot of times. So when he would come out with his flower shirts and the rocking chair and talk about Miss Teacher Lady and Mr. Fear and, what society needs to do, and talking about how he's got the whole world in his hands. For people like me, he did have the whole world in his hands. It was something that gave us hope and something that we could relate with. And a man that didn't take it for granted. And I will forever be indebted to Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, for being the light bearer to help pull me out of the darkest times that I ever had. As far as my normal life and being able to deal with the depression and everything that was going on, for that split time on Monday nights, I was able to have something that I could look forward to and something that I could lose myself in. And I know it seems something so stupid to other people, but wrestling is no different than music, movies, sports. It's no different than any league or any type of entertainment that is out there. And I thank Wyndham Rotunda for all the memories that he gave us and all the times that I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh, is this the time he comes back? Or, like, they ought to do this with Bray. Like, this would be perfect for Bray. And the time that he came back this last time, and as a grown man sitting in my living room, watching this unfold and getting goosebumps all down my arms and getting the tears because he came back. I'll never forget, and he will always be one of my all-time favorites and one of the greatest underappreciated wrestlers that has ever stepped foot not only in WWE but a step foot in the squared circle. Rest in paradise, Bray Wyatt. Forever the eater of the worlds. Say hello to Brody Lee, Luke Harper, and always remember to follow the buzzards.